on their initial contact with the company, they'll be spoken to by our diary manager. Our diary manager is a nice lady called Lauren, and Lauren will be able to, on the phone, explain to them exactly what we can do. Basically, that is, a surveyor can come out to the property, he'll have a look at the property, explain to the customer if he's got any problems, go through some colours with the customer, and above all else, leave the customer with a 12-month written quote. If the customer opts for that, an appointment is made. An appointment's made with a firm time and a firm date, and we stick to that. If we say we're coming at 10 o'clock tomorrow, the customer can expect us at 10 o'clock tomorrow. When the surveyor arrives, he will introduce himself to the customer. He will then walk around the property with the customer and pointing out any defects that he possibly can see. Some of the defects the customer will know, and some of the defects the customer won't know. As well as that, he will also point out things that's wrong, potentially that we don't have anything to do with. What the customer can be sure of is we will give the customer best possible advice. We will tell him where he should and where he shouldn't go. Once the surveyor's done his survey, he will briefly sit down with the customer and explain the processes of the actual job itself. He will also show the customer some colours, and very unique to this company, we have designed and built our own AI software package. We will be the only company in the UK, possibly the world, that will have this package. It will come live middle to end of February, and the surveyor will be able to take a picture of the customer's home, and the customer will be able to then add colours and see what his property potentially could look like at the end of the transformation. On colours, very rarely a customer just uses one colour. He uses many colours, contrast colours, colours that go around windows, go around doors, and that property is going to be personally designed by the customer. The surveyor will be able to give him lots of hints and advice on what could or could not look good, but it's the customer's choice. Once the surveyor's done that and the customer's picked his colours, we will then leave the customer with a 12-month written quote. That is where that journey ends. We will not contact that customer, we won't email him, we won't phone him, we won't ring him with a cheaper price. The price we quote for the job is an honest and ethical price, and it sticks to that price. If the customer decides then that they want to proceed and have the job done, the surveyor will do all the paperwork, he'll do the drawings, he will take some pictures of the property before the work is done, and he will complete a contract. Everything copies are left with the customer, so he knows exactly what he has bought and what he can expect to be done. On that evening, all that paperwork is electronically sent to the office, and in the morning or the next working day, because if it's a Friday, it's going to be a Monday, our office manager, a nice lady called Candice, will give the customer a call, will thank the customer for that order, and will then take the customer completely through their paperwork, ensuring that the customer always knows what's happening and what they have bought. Candice will then give the customer a provisional installation date. Now that's normally 4 to 6 weeks from the point of sale. It can be quicker if the customer has a reason that they want it done quicker, but normally 4 to 6 weeks. We always say to all our customers, if somebody can come tomorrow or next week, I'd be very wary of them because they don't do very much work. Our lead time is 4 to 6 weeks. Candice will book that date with the customer, and then she will explain to the customer that closer to the date, our installation coordinators, which is Liam and Chloe, will give the customer a call and then give the customer an exact day of the start of the work. The customer is also told the name of the installer. Now we have 18 installers here, so there's 18 different names. When that installer arrives at the agreed time and date, that customer knows exactly who he's opening the door to. And funny enough, if the customer looks at the van, he'll see that all our vans have a caricature of them, of the actual driver. It's a personal experience. The installer will introduce himself to the customer and walk the customer round the job and ask the customer or tell the customer what needs to be moved and what can't be moved if it's too heavy. Anything that we can't move, we cover up. So the customer then, because there's going to be mess. We will also go and see the customer's neighbor if it's a very close property, because there's a really good chance that some mess can go into the neighbor's garden. We will also go into the neighbor's garden and cover up and move as required. Once the first stage of the job is done, which is the washing and the biociding, we will clean everything up, normally cleaner than when we arrived. We will also go into the neighbor's garden and clean everything up. We will then ask the neighbor and the homeowner to walk around their property with the installer to make sure that they're happy with everything we've done and there is no mess, etc. The installer will then send an order through to the office electronically, and the coating for that particular customer will be ordered. It takes normally 7 to 10 days for that coating to come into stock. And once that coating comes into stock, yet again, our installation coordinators will give the customer a phone. We've got your stock, Mr. Customer, and then we'll give a date to that customer as to when we're coming to complete the work. Customers are not required to be there for any part of this process. However, experience has shown me they want to be there. If they want to be there, that's fine. From a health and safety point of view, whilst the job is ongoing, the customer will be advised to please stay in the house to make sure they're safe. Once the job is finished and complete, all cleaned up, all coating done, the customer will then be invited out into the garden, and usually we get what's called the wow factor. The customer will go, wow, what a transformation. The customer will be walked around the job again, making sure happy with absolutely everything. That installer will not leave until that customer is 100% happy. Once the installer leaves, he will electronically alert the office that the job is completed, and then the office manager, that's Candice, she will call the customer. We call this the final call. So everything we do here has a process. That final call will be made to the customer where we thank him for using LTI. We will make sure that he's happy with everything that's been done. And then Candice will say, I'm going to send you out a package this evening, usually in a very large envelope. Every copy of every receipt. We do give receipts as we're going along, but we'll make sure that the customer's got a copy of everything, including his contract. And then we will also explain the guarantees to the customer and make sure that the guarantees are inside that envelope. We will also explain to that customer, should something happen and go wrong, what the procedure is for them to get in touch with us for us to come and rectify something should it need to be done. Our customers here are absolutely king. And the processes that we have designed, which we follow to the letter, is all about making that experience with LTI a good one. And that customer, we want him or her to tell somebody how wonderful we are. Our customers will always, always lead us to our next customer. It could be a family friend, it could be a neighbor, it could be a work colleague, but they will always lead us to the next person. And that's why the processes we have in place are always followed and always adhered to. We want that customer to enjoy their LTI experience.